All right, Host Squad. So we're getting into the collections. I'm doing it. And today we're going to be talking about, of course, if you've looked at the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about Estee Lauder and Aerin Beauty. I decided to do those two together because they are basically part of the same, they're the same family. So why not do them together? And I don't have a lot of either one of them, but together I have a nice little collection. So let's get started talking about Estee Lauder and Aerin Beauty fragrances in my collection. All right, so as we get started, let's just do a little history. Let's do a little history and then we'll go into the fragrances. So first off, we're going to talk about Estee Lauder, of course. And if you know anything about beauty, about skincare, about fragrances, you have heard of Estee Lauder. Estee Lauder is an icon in the business and has been around for about almost a century, or damn near a century. So it started out, of course, with Estee Lauder, and she is an icon in women's business. She started out with skincare products, and she sold them door to door. She did the damn thing. And so she started her business primarily in skincare. Later on, around in the 50s, is when she really started getting into fragrances. And her first fragrance was Youth Dew. And we know Youth Dew is a beast. She is a monster of a fragrance and has been around, and an icon, and a classic fragrance forever. Honestly, I was not a Youth Dew person because, of course, at my age, when I was young, Youth Dew was for the old ladies. Let's just be honest, Youth Dew was for the old ladies. So, but everybody knows Estee Lauder. Not only because of the brand, but because of what she did as a woman in business. Now, yes, she did have her business with her husband, but it was Estee Lauder who was the figurehead, the icon, who really did change the way makeup and beauty was done in quite a few ways. All right, so that is Estee Lauder as a brand. And of course, now Estee Lauder is a huge conglomerate that owns so many other brands now. It owns like Tom Ford. What else do they own? Estee Lauder owns Tom Ford. They own MAC. They own Too Faced. They own so many brands. And just a worldwide huge conglomerate. So that's Estee Lauder. Aerin Beauty is the granddaughter of Estee Lauder, and she has her company, Aerin Beauty, which she started in 2012. She is a lifestyle and fragrance person. So as opposed to doing beauty and skincare and things like makeup and skincare, she strictly does lifestyle. So her brand is more about home decor and things like that. And then she has the Aerin Beauty, the fragrance line. So that is where she is. So her fragrance line has been around. So her line has been around since 2012, and it's strictly about the fragrances and the home decor. Nothing else. No skincare or anything like that. That's her focus. So those are the two companies: Estee Lauder, the huge brand, and Aerin Beauty, the granddaughter's business that is a subsidiary of Estee Lauder. So in case you didn't know all that, there you go. Now let's talk about the fragrances. All right, beautiful people. Ooh, let's get our sound correct, because right now y'all going, oh. All right, we're back. All right, we're back. All right, so let's talk Estee Lauder first, because of course we're going to talk about the Estee, because she is the beginning of this whole little dynasty. So I honestly don't own a lot of Estee Lauder, because quite frankly, I've always thought of Estee Lauder as, you know, old lady. Growing up, that was what it was. And to be quite honest, when we were young, let's just talk about this for a minute. When I was young, in my, you know, teens, 20s and everything, the buying of luxury, like things like cosmetics and stuff, wasn't as done. You know, it was like, baby, I thought I was doing something, I was buying MAC. And just in general, because of we weren't living with, you know, YouTube and social media, the drive for luxury products wasn't as intense as it is now. So a lot of times, you know, we was fine with the L'Oreals. We were fine with the, you know, fashion fairs, and, you know, hey, I thought, like I said, I thought I was doing it with some MAC and everything. So it wasn't like back in the, because we're talking late 80s, early 90s, it wasn't the standard to be going out and buying Chanel lipstick or Tom Ford or, you know, those type of things, Guerlain. You know, that wasn't like the standard for the average chick like now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, Estee Lauder was, in my mind, on that level. So I wasn't, you know, why does my bra keep showing? Anyway, so it really wasn't. So I've never been one for beautiful things like that. They just wasn't my aesthetic back then. Now, what happened is in the last few years, I found things that I really, really enjoy from them. Was like really quite surprised. The first one that really surprised me, doesn't get a whole lot of conversation about, was Amber Mystique by Estee Lauder. Now, it has that Estee Lauder look, but this is not the Estee Lauder aesthetic that I expected. This is oud, this is rose, this is incensey. This is a very sexy, deep, rich fragrance, right? It's a rose. It's a beautiful rose. It's a like almost gothic rose. This is not what I expected from Estee Lauder. So when I looked at the notes, I was like intrigued. I was like, oh, I have got to get it. And so when I got it, I was like, oh my God, especially, you know, I just never expected oud and incense from Estee Lauder. So this is Amber Mystique. Then I found out there was Wood Mystique, so I had to get it too. And I actually got this on a really good deal. Now, Wood Mystique is very much similar to Amber Mystique, but it misses out on the incense, so it doesn't have that rose incense vibe. It does have a lot of the things that Amber Mystique has. It's just like almost a lighter version of it. Some people like this one better. To be honest, I'm more of an Amber Mystique person because I love incense. Wood Mystique has a little more, it's like a little sweeter. It's a little more, yeah, it's like a little sweeter, and it's the wood is different. So this is Wood Mystique by Estee Lauder. Now, I am a Tuberose hoe, and so I had to get private collection Tuberose Gardenia, baby. This is a powerhouse, beautiful, beautiful white floral. This is definitely Tuberose. You get that creamy Tuberose. It's not too bubblegummy. It's definitely a white floral. Baby, you will be smelled coming and going. I have to be honest, I have not been wearing it. It's kind of toward the back. I'm going to have to pull her out. I think she's going to have to make an appearance soon. Now, honestly, this is an all-year floral. You know, some florals, they don't do as well in the wintertime. Baby, this is a all-year floral. But if you have to be a white floral lover. You have to love Tuberose and Gardenia for this to work. So this is Tuberose Gardenia from the private collection. Now, summertime. This is a summer classic, kind of rich girl classic. This is Bronze Goddess. I think this is the 2019 version, if I'm not mistaken. This is the 2019 version. Now, Bronze Goddess is pretty simple. Coconut, tiare, a little vanilla. It's very simple. But it's a very classic. Just if you're looking for a classic kind of summertime beachy vibe, this is a good one. Coconut, tiare just gives you it. Okay, so that's what it gives you, right? So this is Bronze Goddess. Now I do have a couple of flankers of Bronze Goddess. I have Bronze Goddess Nuit, which is similar to the original Bronze Goddess, but what it is definitely a more nighttime version because it has tonka bean. It's a more complex fragrance, whereas the original Bronze Goddess has very few notes. This one has added in more notes. It still has the coconut, it still has the tiare flower, but it has vanilla, it has tonka bean, it's a little musky. It's much more complex, and it's definitely giving you nighttime vibes because this is like, okay, this is nighttime vibes right here. So this is giving you, so this is Bronze Goddess Nuit, which is, like I said, the nighttime version of Bronze Goddess. Then I have this one, which is the newest one, this year's version. This is Bronze Goddess Flora Verde. Now, what makes this more difference? Flora. And also the coconut is more coconut water. So this one is a little more aquatic vibe. And it's floral. It's got much more florals in it. So it gives you a more floral and coconut water experience. So it's a lot more watery. It has a watery vibe to it, which I find interesting and delightful. So this is Bronze Goddess Flora Verde. I do like the fact that the three that I have, I did miss one, I'm mad, have enough differences to make it like, okay, I see it, and you could have all three and it's not like you're just repeating the same thing over and over again. So now those are my Estee Lauders. Like I said, don't have a lot, but got a few. Alright, now let's talk about Aerin Beauty, Miss, granddaughter Aerin, and how she's come up here. And I will say that I think that, like I've always said, it's very East Coast money vibe that Aerin gives. But I will also say that her aesthetic is definitely, just in general, because she does, other products, is what I started out in is the summer side of it, because I felt like the fragrances that I tried were very summer vibes, just easy breezy at the Hamptons, up in Martha's Vineyard. That's how I started. Now I do have some that are not that, but are still Aerin vibe. So let's start here. Now I did start out years ago getting some travel sprays to try out. I don't know why, I just decided I want to try Aerin Beauty. And so with that, I went from there. So let me show you the very first bottle that I had to have. And that was Ikat Jasmine. And there is a video of me trying this out. And so I think I'm going to try to find it, and I'm going to put it in here so you get my first impressions of this fragrance. So I'm going to give y'all that one because it was very serious. Ikat or Ikat Jasmine. So now this one has jasmine, Egyptian jasmine, tuberose, honeysuckle, sandalwood, and Ambrette. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Definitely jasmine, but you smell the tuberose. You can smell the honeysuckle in it. So it gives it a little brightness, a little airiness to it, which jasmine and tuberose can use, because those are some very heavy florals. It's a very light, airy kind of vibe to them. So even though it's using something like Jasmine and Tuberose, it has a lightness to it, an airiness to it that makes it really, like, this is so, gotta have it. Alright, so now that you've seen, my first impression, I still love it. It is, this doesn't look like I've worn a lot, but for a long time I was using a travel spray. I still love it because it's such a fresh and interesting take on jasmine, because it's summer jasmine, it's green jasmine, it's gorgeous jasmine. I still love it. It's gorgeous. Now, of course, I just talked about this one in my rich girl vibes, and this is Hibiscus Palm. So as not to just redo this whole thing, I'm about to put Hibiscus Palm, what I said about it in the rich girl vibe, here, because it still applies. But yeah, this is Hibiscus Palm by Aerin. Next classic we're going to talk about is Aerin's Hibiscus Palm. Now, I always say Aerin Beauty's vibe is very East Coast, very Hamptons, very Martha's Vineyard, very, you know, old money, which makes sense considering that she is the granddaughter of Estee Lauder. And it's very similar. It's got the hibiscus, it's got the frangipani, it's got the ylang ylang, it's got coconut. It is giving you that vibe. But the thing about these two in particular, they give you that sun bleached hanging out vibe, but in a different way. So they are not as in your face, and they're not, like, let me say this, they have a presence, but they are very sophisticated about their summer vibe. So as opposed to being like something, they don't vibe like something you'd be in a tropical place at. But this is definitely very very elegant, like, you know, a really well done pool party. Nothing that's too wild or anything. This is, you know, we're sitting around, we're having white wine, we are living well without just being ostentatious about it. So that is Aerin Beauty's Hibiscus Palm. Make sure I put it up there long. All right, now there we go, Hibiscus Palm by Aerin Beauty. All right, now let's keep going. Okay. Now, the other one that I fell in love with when I first tried them was this one. This is Evening Rose. And Evening Rose is definitely an evening rose. And it is like the cool girl, the hipster cool girl, rich girl. Which, I mean, like, this is like, honestly, now that I think about it, it's kind of like a more lighter version of Amber Mystique. Amber Mystique is giving you Mystique and Amber. This is an incensey rose, but it's not as deep and gothic as some that I own. But it still has, got a little, it's got a little interestingness to it. So this would be like the incensey rose for that girl, that woman who is usually seen as a very good girl. You know, she's very nice, she's very polite, everything about her is like perfect, but then she want to show people that she ain't always perfect. You know, she wants to show people that she got an edgy side too, and this would be her rose, her edgy rose. Even though I think it's a cute edgy rose for anybody, but this is definitely, if you're that good girl and everything, you want to bust out and do something a little different, get Evening Rose right here. All right, next up is this. This is Waterlily Sun. So can y'all see that? Now, I wound up getting this because somebody was selling it at such a good price. And that's exactly what it is. If you like watery fragrances, if you like watery ones for the summertime, and you want to just have this easy breezy scent, right, that's going to, you just put it on and you smell, it's a water lily. I mean, that's exactly what it smells like. I can't even go any further than that, because really that's what it does. It smells like water lily. It's got a wateriness to it. The lily is there. It's got a greenness to it. It's very sunny and ozonic, as people would say. So it gives you this bright, sunny vibe because it's water lily sun. Water lily sun right here. I actually do have a, I'm gonna have to say, a inexpensive kind of similar one, and I'll do like a short to talk about both of these because this is great summertime. So we have that. Now this is Mediterranean Honeysuckle Mimosa. Now, to be honest, I tried Mediterranean Honeysuckle, I think the original one, and I was like, oh, it's okay, it's pretty, but I really wasn't like over just dying to get it. But then I saw this one and I really wanted to try it, and Sephora had this thing on serious clearance. So I was able to get the travel spray, which I'm going to be taking with me. I was able to get the travel spray, tried it, and then they had these. And this right here, with all of the discounts that I was able to get around Christmas time last year, was like $65. Now, let me tell you this. It is a honeysuckle, so it has a sweetness, but what happened is that the mimosa really brings it up and gives it a sweet powderiness. So it gives it that powderiness that really makes it, gives it a little more depth and elegance to me. Because I like Mediterranean honeysuckle, because I do like honeysuckle fragrances, but with the addition of the mimosa giving it that sweet powderiness, it's just more perfect to me. So this is a really just every day. This would definitely be something that in the summertime, this could be a summer signature scent, because there is a lightness to it. These don't last, you know, I'm not going to say like this one, Mediterranean Mimosa, Water Lily Sun, are going to give you, Ikat Jasmine even, are going to give you the longest, the serious longevity. They're not going to project out, as you know, they're not super like everybody says diva, beast mode, or as I like to say, diva mode. So they are closer to you, but they're like, let me say this, they're like the wafting fragrances. And when I mean wafting fragrances, you know, you wear them in the summertime, and when breezes hit them, that's when people smell them on you like, oh my god, you smell so delicious. You smell, no, they're not even gonna say delicious, they're gonna say you smell lovely. This is the kind of fragrance when people will go, you just smell so lovely, you know, lovely. This is a lovely fragrance. So this is Mediterranean Honeysuckle Mimosa. Now I do have a couple more. This one is Ambrette de Noir. Now this is one of the more expensive ones, because she has two kind of different lines. Neither one of them are cheap, but these are the little more expensive ones. And Ambrette de Noir is giving you a, alright, so Ambrette de Noir is giving you that kind of ambery vibe. It's giving you a powderiness though, so it has this kind of powderiness to it with some florals. It is a very fall, very cozy vibe. Ambrette de Noir is a very cozy fragrance. It has a warmth to it. What's going on in my eye? I feel like something's going on in my eye. It has a very cozy vibe to it, and it just feels very, it's a warm, cozy vibe. And how many times am I going to say warm and cozy? Okay. And then it has like this, the florals are there, and it's kind of got this rich, almost cashmerean vibe. Cashmere, and you know how we think of like the cashmere fragrance. It has that kind of like velvety goodness to it. So as it dries down, it stays very warm and ambery, with a little more woodiness. So this is Ambrette de Noir. Then I have this, which is Tuberose Le Soir. Somebody else was selling off their collection. Y'all know, don't we love a good declutter? I know I declutter, and I know y'all be loving it when I declutter, and I love other people's declutters too, because that's when you be getting the good stuff at a good price, y'all. I talk about people decluttering, but I actually do love a good declutter, especially in the Facebook group, because then people be decluttering their lives, and I mean they be decluttering them lives, and I'm like right there for it, you know, because you have the people who honestly, they buy, they try, they get rid of, and then you have the people who, you know, they just, I love the people who are doing the whole, I am downsizing I don't want to have all of these. I only want to get down to 40 fragrances and I own 250. And I just watch them get rid of stuff. It's awesome. Okay, that was a whole total aside. Tuberose Le Soir. This is, I have to be honest, it's a nice tuberose. It is. It's got the creaminess of tuberose, a little bubblegum, just a little bubblegummy sweetness, but it's more creamy, right? It's got ylang, so it's got some yellow florals. It's got a very rich tuberose. This is definitely a cooler weather tuberose. But I have to say this about it, and I'm just being honest. It does not stand out to me amongst my tuberoses. Just being honest. It is a classic tuberose. As you wear it, you get like some sweetness. If I'm not mistaken, it has vanilla toward the bottom, you know, base notes. So it's kind of like got a sweetness to it. You get the florals. It's got the ylang, so it gives it a little balance on the white florals. It's a nice tuberose. I'm just here to say, I would never say pay full price for this. What I would say is go try it out and then look around for somebody selling it. But to me, okay, let me say this. For a tuberose connoisseur like I am, for my tuberose connoisseurs, this would be like a middle of the pack tuberose. It's not giving like, you know, it's not like Tuberose Imperial. Even though, let me just say this. They have some similarities. They do have some similarities to Tuberose. This does have a similarity to Tuberose Imperial, but it's like the East Coast moneyed Tuberose Imperial. You know, Tuberose Imperial is very in your face, beautiful. This one is a little more understated. So this is an understated tuberose, which will then wear really well. But I'm just saying, like, I would never have paid full price. Like, the price I paid for it was perfect, because this is a $200 and some bottle. I know I paid less than half, y'all. Close to, like, I was closer to 100 than 150. That's all I remember. So for me it was worth it. And I do like the Aerin aesthetic. At some point, real talk, this might get decluttered, but right now it's still here. So this is Tuberose Le Soir. And the reason why I say it's still here is because now that I'm looking at it, and let me just say this, I am now getting to the point where I don't feel the need to hold on to collections. And I know some of you can understand that because we're completionists and we like to have these large numbers, but I am no longer feeling like I need to, like, if I've got like now I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, I have 7. I don't feel like, well, I've got 7 of them, I gotta stay here, I gotta keep them. Now I'm starting to get to this point where I'm looking at things and going, do I really like that? Am I really wearing it? And not because I feel like I'm overwhelmed, but to be quite honest, to make more room. So I'm saying all that to say that at the end of the year, this might be on the chopping block. And I'm thinking about some other things too that might be surprising to people. But anyway, dare I digress? But yeah, so so that's what I'm saying in reference to that is, it's nice, but it's not necessary. All right. So now, that's it, hoes. I've gotten another collection done. I'm so proud of myself because I'm really trying to, like, really deep dive into my collection for you all and really talk about things so that you can go, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm going with this now. I'm just trying to, like, really make sure that in this year I actually show off the collection more than just have it behind me. So there we go. There is Aerin Beauty and Estee Lauder. Let me know how'd you... So that's it, my hoes. Be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free. Talk to you later. Did I cut that out or did I not?